Thank you so much for joining me, Ms. Korede, on this, and really appreciate you. I mean, you've really touched on, important things on the stage, but I want to get, more deeper understanding for the audience to understand better. I mean, I would like to ask you, when you are first coming for this, conference, and you saw the theme, what comes to your mind? I mean, towards just transition, what comes to your mind?
Okay, just a transition. What came to my mind, especially as in the context of the topic I also was given to work with other panelists on, what came to my mind was that, oh, a new dawn for
Mm,
Islamic finance.
mm,
We want to find out how we can actually make this a lot much bigger, especially in the context that we are having more banks going to non-interest banking financing. So I saw that, was happy because probably one day I could also be an SME,
yeah.
right? And also, how do you make sure, even in your place of work, like I tell people, yes, EcoBank doesn't do non-interest,
Mhm.
but there are other things we're doing around for the SMEs to actually, you might not be able to quantify it, right? So that was what came to my
That's
mind.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And basically, I mean, looking at the financing, the Islamic finance industry,
Yeah.
how do you see it now? Is it growing in your own view? Is
Oh,
it really developing in your own view?
my own personal interest or the, oh, my
Absolutely. This
person.
is your personal opinion.
Okay, my
I'm asking.
personal interest is really growing by the day.
Mm,
Why? The way the country is, and if you had listened to Dr. Salahuddin, I mean, 96% is mind blowing. 50% not surviving after 5 years is mind blowing. And so I'm now particularly interested in how can I contribute to make this, to make that difference. You know about it, now act, be part of the people that can make the change. It might also mean I might be doing something else, but
yeah, yeah,
yes, but so I want to make a difference in that area.
yeah.
So yeah, it has really piqued my interest, and I'm
Great.
so happy I came here. I think I came for the first one you did
Yeah.
many years ago, maybe in here. I
Okay.
can't remember, but I mean, it was my bank that sent me
Okay,
then.
good.
So
Good.
now I'm understanding that things you learned from before, you keep on joining them, and later on you have to do something
Make
with
it.
what you have learned.
I think that's wonderful and a good analogy you've actually made there. So
Mm,
I want to go, in deep into, your topic you just mentioned, fueling
yeah.
MSMEs. Now we know that there are a lot of, like you mentioned, Dr. Saudi also mentioned
Mm,
that these MSMEs don't last long,
yeah.
What do you think they can do? Because, as a layman, you're just starting a business
Mhm.
and all these things you need to learn and in front of you. What do you think this kind of people can do? If you have a business, you're running a business now, or you want to start a business, what do you think the first thing you
Okay,
need to
my
do is?
perspective is a bit different for SMEs. Like if you listen to my concluding remarks, what I've also noticed is some SMEs don't need funding.
Mm,
They don't need funding. You really have to understand. And if I take a step back, what are the problems that the SME have? For me, there are four major ones. I mean, maybe I've just tried to summarize what
yeah.
Dr. Salahuddin has said. There's the funding, if you need funding.
Okay.
There's your managerial. Do you have the managerial capacity?
Skills.
There is, none of them have embraced technology. If they embrace technology, it would solve and halve the operating cost of the business. And what's the last one? Now, yeah, the economic environment. So don't forget that the SMEs are operating in the same environment. Dangote, even Dangote is not easy for him right now.
Yeah.
Unilever, it's not easy. People cannot buy the soap to bath, to have their bath. So what I would say first is, honestly, if the economy picks up, even things will pick up from them. That's the standard. That
Mm,
is my own way of thinking. But unfortunately, the economy is so down now. I even remember in my bank and in most banks, as soon as the economy is going down, the first people you look at,
seriously.
how many SMEs? When is this one maturing?
Mm,
You want to quickly get out, but it's because of what is driving you. But if you
yeah.
know the economy is doing well, they will definitely sell their products if
Yes,
they're
yeah,
good products.
absolutely.
People
Absolutely.
will demand their services if they need. So that's where I say I'm a bit different, that I won't jump into the financing first.
Mm,
So when you look at the economic environment, is it good? We don't know when that will be good, but we all continue to struggle together.
absolutely.
So that's
Absolutely.
one. Then now look at the person running the company. You want to run a company, you found SMEs that, The man has all the intelligence. He can do everything on his own. He doesn't know how to delegate. He doesn't know how to talk to people. So he gets people on board, takes
do
time to
that for
interview them, right? They come, they settle, and he just shouts on them, idiot, stupid, they leave. That is also affecting his business, right? See, those, they have major, that's not funding yet.
Yeah.
And this man that is even speaking from his head, it might be that he can just write you a code that will let another SME do something. It's not funding. By the time he writes it for you, you use it, you pay maybe 50%, So funding is critical for those who need it. But there's still so many other things around it. And what banks tend to do, I mean, it's not in non-interest, but we have a program for women called Elevate. And what do we do? As soon as you're a customer, we build your capacity, your managerial, your leadership, your technology. And the bank does it also in conjunction with other stakeholders. For example, we worked with Google, so they gave them access. You read those things, you have Wi-Fi free, So when you start getting that, then when you start getting your cash flowing, maybe when you have a playbook, you would even know when you need financing. And then now when you need it, we now take it to another level. How can we help? Which banks help? Which banks have non-interest? Which banks have single digits? Which banks give you single digit markup, and things like that. So I am a little different in terms of finance. No, that's not where you start.
I mean, this is wonderful. And this shows that people need to try as possible to understand even what they want to do before going into finance. This is a wonderful perspective you bring into this. So the last one, and what advice will you, I mean, looking at the industry right now, what advice will you give to whoever is coming into this industry, the Islamic finance industry? Because I believe that you have seen the perspective from a different angle.
Yes.
And you've been in the conventional bank enough to actually know if this is moving, this is not moving, or something like that. So what advice will you give? And why? Because it's actually
Who is coming into the industry? Is it an institution? Is it me?
Be it institution, be it someone who investors, be it, what advice will you give them coming into Islamic finance industry?
Okay. I think the first advice I'll give you is that don't expect a miracle. So be in for the long haul. Right. I think there's something else I didn't touch on that is very close to my heart. You have to work with regulators to make this Islamic finance really thrive. I didn't even know until Bonaventure mentioned that they had started non-interest. So that awareness, I didn't know, because I just sat down and I was talking to him. And I said, look, one of the things I had said I would talk about was that you guys have to start even creating non-interest windows. And he said, we started, I just disbursed, So we need that awareness from them. But let me go back to the original question. Please be in for the long haul. Work with regulators. You have to build an advocacy, kind of thing. And I'm happy in Nigeria, non-interest is not about Muslims. I hear it's the Igbo traders that patronize Jais, Taj a lot. And I think overall that would also bring some more peaceful togetherness, collaboration, either in terms of tribe, religion, and all that.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so
very
much for sitting down with me on this interview.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
Thank you.